at 4.
Today, Ashland High School returned to full in-person instruction. Thank you for joining us tonight on News Watchtop at 4. I'm Caleb Michael. According to the district superintendent, getting students back in school today was based on state COVID model predictions. News Watchtop's Tyler Ridgell has been following this story to get the latest on what is changing with extracurricular activities now that students are fully back in person. Tyler, does returning to full in-person instruction today include spectators being allowed indoors for events again?
Just this morning, Caleb, Ashland High School actually announced on its Facebook page that it would not be allowing spectators for tomorrow's basketball games, though the school is making some other options available for viewing. On your screen right now, you can see actually that the Facebook post by the school stating that, again, these limits are being placed on extracurriculars because of COVID-19. The other option that's being made available to view these games is to stream them through the NFHS website, but a fee will be charged. I asked the Ashland School District Superintendent what's informing the district to not allow spectators, and he says it's all about limiting spread.
Right now, we aren't allowing any spectators simply because we want to make sure we're limiting spread and keeping kids in school. We are looking at that later this week to see whether or not we can open it up to spectators as soon as we possibly can.
On the school's athletic page, it says players will meet parents outside, not in the lobby, and handshakes with opposing coaches, officials, and students are not permitted. He adds, since the school has returned from asynchronous learning, only 3 teachers and a handful of staff have called out sick. Ashland High School is still hopeful that these limitations will be temporary. On News Watch 12 at 5 tonight, I'll explain to you what the latest COVID guidance is for non-athletic activities. For now, reporting live in studio, Tyler Ridgell, News Watch 12.
Thank you, Tyler. And McLaughlin Middle School's 8th grade class is back in person today after going remote because of staffing shortages last week. Students had to go remote on Thursday and Friday because of COVID callouts. The Medford School District has been struggling to keep classes in person as cases surge. District administrators have had to fill in teaching classes due to teacher absences, with Superintendent Dr. Brett Champion notably stepping in to lead an elementary school music class just earlier this month. Moving to the coronavirus watch tonight, preclinical trials for hemp and the fight against COVID could start within the next few months. Oregon State University studies show 2 extracts from the hemp can bind to the spike protein on COVID-19 and stop it from entering human cells, which is similar to the way antibodies bind to it. Lead researcher Richard Van Bremen says the preclinical research involves using cell cultures or animal models to test the safety and efficacy of a new drug candidate. Those types of studies are required by the FDA before any clinical testing in humans can begin. The FDA has approved the antiviral drug remdesivir as an outpatient treatment for COVID. A doctor at Kaiser Permanente says the importance of the drug is magnified right now because monoclonal antibody treatment has not worked to fight the Omicron variant. He says he's seen remdesivir slow the virus in hospitalized patients. However, it is in short supply and may be hard to get for some patients.
They have to be given in a observed setting, and so they take healthcare resources, and those are quite limited. So everyone's struggling both with availability of drugs and with being able to get drugs into people's arms.
It's a challenge of timing and resources in an overloaded healthcare system. And we turn now to Storm Watch 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman. We were talking about those rain chances, but they seem to have gone away.
Yeah, we had a little bit of wet weather and some snow up in the mountains last night. That system has moved out. There's been a few showers to our north of the Umpqua Divide today, but otherwise we've seen partly to mostly sunny skies out there, and we're seeing a lot of clearing taking place for most of the region as we head into this evening. Taking a look at the satellite and radar imagery, you can see some of those spotty sprinkles up to the north in Douglas County, but tonight we will stay dry. This evening, look for mostly clear to partly cloudy skies developing basically along and west of the Cascades in southern Oregon. Otherwise, mostly clear skies tonight elsewhere in our region. It will be colder, down to 29 in Medford, 36 in Brookings, and 14 in Klamath Falls. Tomorrow, we expect a mainly dry day for the region, a mix of sun and clouds, and some even cooler temperatures than today. We'll talk about your forecast for the rest of the work week coming up.
On the fire watch tonight, a local business that was destroyed by not one, but 2 fires has been awarded top awards from the Good Food Foundation. Following the fire, Valhalla Organics rebuilt, but disaster struck again for the farm When they cut off, fire destroyed their business again. Still, they persisted and today were honored for the second year in a row for their award-winning food.
Just trying to put our lives back together piece by piece. I know all the fire survivors are doing the same things that we're doing, and it's a struggle. It's really been very difficult, but we're very proud that we were able to not only keep going, but actually be successful and win awards and, continue doing the thing that we love the most.
Fire survivors say sharing their stories builds up the community and serves as a reminder that they aren't alone as they rebuild. Valhalla Organics creates handmade artisan pickles and preserve, which are available at the Oregon Cheese Cave, Market of Choice, Edible Earth Farmers Market Collective in Klamath Falls, and as well as online. First at 4 o'clock today, a Gold Beach man was sentenced to federal prison for receiving and possessing child pornography. 38-year-old Timothy Laird was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison and 5 years supervised released after that. According to police documents, Laird was arrested after they found child porn on a computer in his rented bedroom back in November of 2019. He pleaded guilty to charges back in August of last year. And we now know more about a bank robbery in Central Point. It turns out the suspect is tied to multiple bank robberies all through Northern California, and police are calling him a serial bank robber. Police say during their investigation, detectives linked robberies in Redding and Yuba City to 52-year-old Thomas West. Over the past 10 days, detectives from all three cities worked together and determined the car that was used in all three robberies was his. West is not the owner of the car, though. He was seen driving it on bank security camera footage. According to police, West has an extensive and violent criminal history in Washington and in Oregon. Police found West's car used in the robberies in Las Vegas, and then less than 3 hours later, he was arrested in Nevada. To read more about bank robberies in Central Point and this one, head to our website, kdrv.com. Starting tomorrow, local schools and buses are partnering with the United Way of Jackson County to celebrate Black History Month by commemorating Rosa Parks. The district will be placing placards on seat numbers 5 and 13 school buses from tomorrow through the last day of February. The seat number has a special significance because Parks refused to give up her seat in the 5th row to a white man on December 1st, 1955, and was subsequently arrested and fined $10. Parks' brave stance led to a boycott of Montgomery buses, and a little-known minister at the time was a part of that boycott, Martin Luther King Jr. The placards going on the bus seats show a picture of Parks sitting on a bus seat and a message that says, "This seat is reserved in honor of Rosa Parks. In honor of Black History Month, Phoenix Talent Schools salute Rosa Parks, whose calm strength made a seat available for everyone." Phoenix Talent, Medford, St. Mary's, and RVTD are all participating in this campaign. President Biden's Supreme Court pick has yet to be announced, but there's already been hints towards who it may be. The latest developments out of the country's highest court coming up next. And ICU nurses are burnt out. Even as cases plateau, the demand in U.S. hospitals is, quote, unsustainable. Hear from those working in California hospitals in the next 15 minutes.
We'll be dry tomorrow as we start February, but temperatures will be a bit colder than even today. We'll take a look at your forecasts for the first day of February and what to expect for the first 7 coming up. But first, let's take a live look at Grants Pass from the Tap Rock Northwest Grill. Watching out for you. This is Newswatch 12 at 4.
Newswatch 12 is here with the best basketball coverage in Southern Oregon with Newswatch 12's Round Ball Wrap. Presented by Abby's Legendary Pizza.
Introducing the great new taste of Sicily's Italian plates, starting at just $8.95. Prepared by hand and served with homemade sauces made from scratch every day. Now you can enjoy casual dining Italian style every night of the week. Come in tonight for a delicious Italian meal starting at just $8.95, only at Sicily's. Sicily's is located in the McAndrews Marketplace at the intersection of Poplar and McAndrews in Medford.
Join Planet Fitness today for zero enrollment. Zero, like a bagel. And It's only $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Bagels are awesome.
Enjoy tons of equipment for zero enrollment.
Zero enrollment?
And $10 a month.
That makes me so happy.
You know what else will make you happy? Blowing off steam in our judgment-free zone. But the part that'll really get you going is that post-workout high. Look at that glow.
Oh, it's all natural.
It's this place, I tell you.
Feel Fit-tacular in 2022 for zero enrollment, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends February 2nd.
Looking for the perfect gift for that special someone in your life? Sam's Jewelers has a wide selection of engagement and wedding rings to choose from and just in time for Valentine's Day. Plus, if you spend $1,500 or more on any jewelry purchase, you'll also receive a complimentary 3-night, 4-day ocean cruise to Mexico for 2. Cruise the open seas and visit the beautiful beaches of Ensenada, Mexico. Round-trip airfare and meals included. Make this Valentine's Day extra special at Sam's Jewelers, located upper level at the Rogue Valley Mall.
Hey, it's Derek with TC Chevy. It seems everyone's talking about the lack of cars these days. But here's a fact. Almost all of our new cars and trucks are custom ordered. Interested in a Silverado? Our product specialists will build it the way you want. Color, bed length, accessories, all of it. Need a vehicle now? We've got a great selection of pre-owned vehicles. And because our salespeople don't work on commission, you always get our lowest price.
TC Chevy. No commission, no pressure, no kidding.
I'm going to buy your company, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Promised Land is addictive with simmering sexiness.
People don't change, only their lies do.
Promised Land, new tonight, 10/9 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Watching out for you. This is Newswatch 12 at 4.
Happening now in Washington, President Biden's decision to name a black woman as his Supreme Court nominee. He's facing criticism from some GOP lawmakers for his campaign promise to nominate the first black female justice to the High Court, something Biden says is long overdue. Ika Joshi is in Washington with more.
President Biden continuing to mull his choice to fill the vacant Supreme Court seat after Justice Stephen Breyer formally announced his plan to retire last week.
That person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court.
Since the Supreme Court was created in 1789, there have been 115 justices, only 4 of whom were women. ABC News has learned there are at least 14 black women under consideration. However, a new ABC News Ipsos poll suggests 3 out of 4 Americans think Biden should consider all possible nominees. There's a partisan split, with almost all Republicans polled saying the president should consider all options. GOP Senator Susan Collins says she supports diversity on the court, but called the president's handling of the nomination clumsy.
It adds to the further perception that the court is a political institution like Congress when it is not supposed to be.
The chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee coming to the president's defense.
This is not the first time that a president has signaled what they're looking for in a nominee.
And an ABC News fact check supports Durbin's view. In fact, many presidents of both parties have explicitly prioritized race, gender, and ethnicity in their Supreme Court nominees. Mississippi GOP Senator Roger Wicker even going so far as to call Biden's choice of an African-American woman an affirmative action nominee, even without knowing anything about her.
Put me in the camp of making sure the court and other institutions look like America.
The White House has confirmed J. Michelle Childs of South Carolina is on the list of potential nominees, a choice supported by Representative Jim Clyburn, one of Biden's strongest supporters.
Both Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham, they are very high on Michelle Childs.
The president says he'll be holding in-person interviews at the White House after he says he'll announce his nominee by the end of February. Ika Joshi, ABC News, Washington.
We turn now to a developing story. The U.S. is ramping up diplomatic and financial pressure on Russia over Ukraine, promising to put Moscow on the defensive at the UN Security Council meeting today. The meeting was called by the U.S. as new pictures show U.S. instructors training Ukrainian soldiers on how to use missile launchers.
You've heard from our Russian colleagues that we're calling for this meeting to make you all feel uncomfortable. Imagine how uncomfortable you would be if you had 100,000 troops sitting on your border in the way that these troops are sitting on the border with Ukraine.
In the best case scenario, the scale of the Russian forces assembled on 3 sides of Ukraine is deeply destabilizing. In the worst case, it is preparation for a military invasion of a sovereign country.
The U.S. believes an attack from Russia is imminent, but Ukraine has pushed back on those claims. The Kremlin insists they don't intend to invade and are calling today's meeting a PR stunt. The U.S. and NATO have denied Russia's key demand that Ukraine not be allowed to join the alliance. NATO Secretary General says they have no plans to deploy NATO combat troops to Ukraine if they are attacked because Ukraine is not a NATO ally. What's trending? Some Republicans on Capitol Hill are speaking out against statements made at a rally held in Texas by former President Trump. In a press release, former President Trump stating he wanted former Vice President Pence to overturn the election. At the rally, the former president suggesting he might pardon rioters who participated in the January 6th insurrection if he is reelected, and called on his supporters to take action if he's ever arrested. Right now, there are several congressional and state investigations into the former president.
I hope we are going to have in this country the biggest protest we have ever had in Washington, D.C., in New York, in Atlanta.
Republicans on Capitol Hill appear to be distancing themselves from the statements made at the rally and in the press release.
No, I don't want to send any signal that it was okay to defile the Capitol.
The House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol is continuing the investigation right now, and they're subpoenaing 14 people whom the committee says tried to falsely declare themselves as state electors for Trump in 7 battleground states he lost. The Department of Justice revealing they are also conducting a criminal review of the matter. Today, the White House Secretary Jen Psaki addressed the weekend rally. Here's what she had to say when asked about the former president's comments.
So in terms of the former president, his actions represented a unique and existential threat to our democracy, as the president has said many times. But, his remarks this weekend, he defended the actions of his supporters who stormed the Capitol and brutally attacked the law enforcement officers protecting it. I think it's important to shout that out and call that out. He even attacked his own vice president for not, in his words, having overturned the election.
Still to come tonight, the coronavirus vaccine could be the key to other vaccines that could fight diseases that have plagued thousands. The latest development in a vaccine for HIV. That's coming up in tonight's Health Watch. But first, here's a live look out at Wairika. This news brought to you by the Rain Rock Casino, part of our News Watch 12 Weather Cam Network. Watching out for you, this is News Watch 12 at 4.
News Watch 12 at 4, presented by Ashley Home Store.
Ashley Home Store believes that great mornings start with the perfect mattress. That's why we carry the nation's top brands like Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, Serta, and our exclusive Ashley Sleep. And with incredible financing and delivery options, your nights of tossing and turning are over. So whether you're a soft pillow top sleeper or the contouring hybrid foam type, we have the perfect mattress for you. Come discover why Ashley Home Store is America's #1 furniture and mattress store. Ashley Home Store. Visit us at both our Medford and Roseburg locations. This is home.
It's the 7-day winter sale at Furniture Row. So get ready, because every sofa, dining table, and bed is on sale. Like this unbeatable deal on the Christo panel bed, now only $4.99. Save big on the Avery reclining sofa, only $8.99. Get the 5-piece timber dining set for only $5.49. And check out the Summit Queen, easy on the wallet for only $299.99. Plus 5 years, no interest. But don't wait, the 7-day winter sale at Furniture Row ends Thursday the 3rd.
It's hard for anyone to resist a great combo. So talk to State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford and save hundreds by combining your auto and homeowner's insurance. After all, these savings are too good to pass up. Get to a better state.
Do you have dentures that need a repair? Do you need dentures? Call Court Street Denture Clinic today. With a long tradition of first-class service and same-day repair, Court Street Denture Clinic will be your best choice. Always accepting new patients, most insurances, and offering senior discounts. Do you grind your teeth at night? We can fix that too, with a perfectly fitted night guard, mouth guard as well. Don't forget, every exam is free. Court Street Denture Clinic. Give us a call today.
Are you flat out tired of the pandemic? the distancing, the testing. We get it. It's called COVID fatigue. Hang in there though, because COVID fatigue is the biggest threat to keeping Oregon schools open this winter. But by layering safety measures like getting vaccinated, ventilation, and yes, face coverings, we can get through this together.
Learn more at oregon.gov/readyschools.
The Newswatch 12 WeatherCam Network, presented by Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford.
On our Health Watch tonight, Moderna says the clinical trial for its experimental HIV vaccine is underway using technology from its COVID vaccine. The pharmaceutical company says participants in phase 1 of the trial have been vaccinated. The trial follows 56 people who tested negative for the virus that causes AIDS and studies if the vaccine is safe and effective. Moderna says the experimental doses utilize the company's mRNA technology, and researchers hope it can deliver HIV-specific antigens to the body that will induce a positive immune response. The company says the vaccine appeared to work in 97% of participants in last year's proof of concept trial. On the Vaccine Watch, today is the University of Oregon's deadline for students and staff to submit proof that they got their booster shot. U of O is requiring every member of their community to get their booster by today or 30 days after they become eligible. Some agree with the booster mandate.
I think it's a good thing because I want to stay in in-person classes. The vibe I've been getting is pretty positive, not gonna lie.
But not everyone is for the booster requirement. Some students say they have friends who are choosing not to get the extra shot and will be instead seeking accommodation. And some sit on the fence of UO's decision to mandate the boosters in the first place.
It's not a huge deal to me. I'd personally prefer to see more people getting the shot. I don't know if it should necessarily be mandated though.
Officials with the university say students and employees may seek an exemption, but would have to test weekly. University of Oregon's website explains they are requiring boosters because, quote, booster shots are one tool for preventing the spread of COVID on our campus. And members of the Oregon State University community will have a bit more time to get their boosters. The deadline is on February 15th for that campus or 30 days after a community member becomes eligible. On the Coronavirus Watch tonight, a new spin-off of the Omicron COVID variant is catching some attention as it's becoming the dominant cause of COVID-19 in some parts of the world, but top U.S. health officials say there's no need to panic. It's called BA2, a subvariant of Omicron, first detected in mid-November. It's now identified in at least 49 countries, including the U.S.
We're keeping a very close eye on it. Looks a bit more transmissible, but not necessarily more severe.
Does it evade our immune system? Does it evade the immunity that we've acquired from Omicron infection or the vaccines? Most of the evidence so far, and it's preliminary, suggests it doesn't.
Health experts say it's not a matter of if new variants will continue to emerge, but when. However, experts feel that we now have the tools to be ready, including COVID testing, widespread masking and vaccination, and boosters.
So whenever the next variant hits, we're going to be ready. We won't have to shut down schools. We won't have to shut down our lives. We'll manage our way through it.
Almost 2 years after the COVID-19 pandemic swept across the United States, healthcare workers are hoping the worst is over. At one Orange County, California hospital, ICU nurses say they're burnt out. Some nurses have even switched departments or just quit hospital nursing altogether. Orange County has one of the highest COVID-19 hospitalization rates in California, where cases peaked about 2 weeks ago. A lot of the nurses have had COVID. Many of them have had it twice and have had little time to process hundreds of COVID-19 deaths and tense moments with patients and their families.
I think the past 2 years has been the worst 2 years of a lot of our lives. I don't think the public understands necessarily what we're still seeing and dealing with. And, we were heroes for a month. And we didn't like being heroes because we're not heroes, we're doing our job. But I think it's been really hard for us to go out in the public and people ask us, is this real, is this true, is this, and it gets to the point where I know a lot of, myself and a lot of nurses included, have stopped talking to friends, have spent more time with other healthcare workers because just like in the trauma unit, unless you do it, you don't understand it. So I think we all know what's going on and we've just stopped talking about it.
Emergency room patient numbers have plateaued at an unsustainably high level, according to emergency room Dr. Jim Keeney. That means people are left waiting on gurneys in the hallways. Around 8 of 10 patients on ventilators in intensive care are unvaccinated.
I know what I see is truth. I know what I see in numbers, but it's America, and if people don't want to get vaccinated and they know the correct information, then that's their right. And I think nurses and doctors, we just keep going even though we're tired, because that's what we do.
Coming up tonight, the U.S. Forest Service is revealing a new wildfire plan that spans over the next decade. How the department plans on mitigating wildfire in our state.
The forecast is looking mainly dry as we head through the rest of this work week and head into February. Most of the wet weather staying to the north. We'll have more details on the rest of your work week and a peek towards the weekend, all coming up next. First, let's take a live look near Chiloquin. The blue skies there at the Clamoya Casino. Watching out for you. This is Newswatch 12 at 4.
Health Watch on Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Providence Health and Services.
Healthy feet are crucial to an active lifestyle. Our feet absorb shock when we walk, run, jump, and dance. When something goes wrong on our feet, it can bring our lives to a screeching halt. Chronic foot pain is pain in the foot that lasts longer than a few weeks or returns frequently. There are many possible causes. Some conditions can be treated at home, while others are more serious and may require surgery. If you have foot pain, see your provider to find the best treatment for you.
Celebrate the most romantic time of the year with Newswatch 12's Valentine's Day Sweepstakes. You and your special someone have the chance to win one grand prize package, which includes spectacular date nights from sponsors like White Lotus Day Spa, Wine and Brush, Books Day Hop, and Sam's Jewelers, valued at over $1,900. Go to kdrv.com/contest to enter. Show your partner how much they mean to you with Newswatch 12's Valentine's Day Sweepstakes, now through February 20th.
Dove 0% is different. We left aluminum out and put 48-hour freshness and 1/4 moisturizers in. Dove 0% aluminum deodorant is kinder on skin, and now it's refillable for life.
Ready to style in just one step? Introducing new Tresemme One-Step Stylers. 5 professional benefits, 1 simple step. Totally effortless. Styling has never been easier. Tresemme. Do it with style.
Don't get stuck with internet and TV that costs more and does less. Set yourself free with Spectrum and get it all from one provider. Get Spectrum Internet with enough speed for all your devices all at once with speeds of 100 megabits.
Whoa, that's fast.
Plus, get a free modem and free desktop security to keep you safe online. Get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month. Call 833-605-4999. And don't get stuck with the same old TV. Multiply your screens. Spectrum TV with a free Spectrum TV app lets you watch here, there, and everywhere. Stream live TV, sports, news, and more on any device. Plus, access up to 85,000 on-demand titles. Get Spectrum TV from $49.99 a month. Call 833-605-4999. Don't get stuck paying more for less. Pick and choose the services you need. Spectrum Internet or TV, or get them both for $49.99 a month each, all with no contracts. Call 833-605-4999.
Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman.
The Cascades saw some snow last night. A lot of that has melted though today, but any wet roads could turn a little bit slippery tonight as temperatures tumble, so be advised of that. Shower activity well to the north for the most part. There have been a few raindrops in Douglas County, but that's about it. Take a look at temperatures this hour. 49 in Medford, 48 degrees in Grants Pass. It's 46 in Cave Junction and 48 degrees right now in Brookings. Down in Siskiyou County, 48 in Montague, 46 in Mount Shasta. Definitely cooler, below average temperatures today, but still, it could be a lot colder this time of the year, and we are not seeing any of that. It's a little bit chilly, though, as you head to the east side. Temperatures in the 30s right now, 39 in Klamath Falls, 38 in Lakeview, and 30 in Chemult. Tomorrow could be even a little bit colder, if not the same as far as temperatures are concerned, before we get into a warming trend later on this week. So this colder air doesn't last all that long. Winds are a bit breezy out there, especially in the basin, the Shasta Valley, the higher terrain as well, and along the coast. The coast, we're getting some gusts up over 20 miles per hour, also some higher gusts up in the mountains. We'll see some breezier conditions again tomorrow for the coast, and then also our higher terrain as we head on into your Tuesday. Tonight, look for mostly clear to at times partly cloudy skies along and west of the Cascades in southern Oregon. It's going to be a colder night tonight, though, down to 14 in Klamath Falls, 29 in Medford, and 21 degrees in Wairika. Tomorrow, as we start February, notice temperatures a bit chilly, middle 40s expected throughout our west side valleys, mid to upper 30s for the east side, 25 for high at Crater Lake. And then we're going to have to watch Brookings up to 56. But if the Checo effect gets going with these winds, if we can get enough of a component out of the northeast, we could see a shot at Brookings getting even warmer than that 56 degrees. So we'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, stormcast as we head into your Tuesday, some low clouds potentially developing in some of our valleys as we head into tomorrow, but generally expecting mostly sunny to at times partly cloudy skies, especially along the Cascades and Siskiyous. We'll see some fair weather clouds developing. We will likely stay dry throughout the region, and skies will be pretty sunny for most of the coast as well. And then Wednesday, we will see some passing clouds across southern Oregon, northern California. At this point, any wet weather from this week disturbance is going to stay up to our north. So days ahead, doing some hiking. It looks pretty nice to get outdoors. It's just going to be a little bit chillier than what we saw last week. By the time we head towards Thursday, though, we're back into the middle 50s, and it gets even warmer by the end of the week and then into this upcoming weekend. Heading to the Mount Shasta Ski Park, temperatures a bit on the colder side comparatively from what we've seen. Winds will be a bit breezy, especially on Wednesday. Temperatures starting to get milder on Thursday with plenty of sun. Taking a look at your extended forecast as we head through the rest of the week. Temperatures continuing to moderate along the coast as we head towards the weekend. We're looking at highs up around 60. For Northern California, overall dry weather, a lot of sunshine in the days ahead. Cold nights, mild afternoons. Highs getting into the 50s later this week. The Klamath Basin, cold the next few nights down to the teens, but notice those nights getting at least a little bit milder by the end of the week into the weekend. Highs back into the 50s as well. The Cascades and Siskiyous, dry weather, good travel weather expected through the rest of this work week and this weekend. And then in the Rogue Valley, expect those chilly, cold nights and milder afternoons back above average by the second half of this work week.
All right, I'll be sure to bundle up at night for those chilly nights. Thank you, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Moving to the fire watch tonight, the U.S. Forest Service is launching what they're calling a robust 10-year strategy to address worsening wildfires in the western U.S. They're going to combine their historic investment of congressional funding with the years of scientific research and planning into a national effort that will dramatically increase the scale of forest health treatments over the next decade. The plan calls for the agency to treat up to an additional 20 million acres on National Forest System lands and up to an additional 30 million acres of other federal, state, tribal, and private lands. A developing story tonight, police have found a missing 17-year-old. Aiden Mazzone went missing in the Medford, Phoenix area over the weekend and was considered missing and endangered. But today, Jackson County Sheriff's Office updated their original post saying that Aiden was found in good health and thanked everyone who helped in the search for him. No details were provided about where Mazzone was found. The Wairika Police Department says they're seeing an increase in virtual kidnapping or fake ransom scam calls. They say the call generally comes in as a female crying or screaming for help. A male voice comes on the line and states that they will harm or even kill the female if you don't listen up. Eventually, they will ask for money or other sensitive information in return for the female's safe return or the release. They say that if you get a call like this, you should just hang up the phone and report it to your local police as soon as possible. One person has died after a fatal crash in White City on Sunday night. We learned that the crash happened around 8:30 near 8025 Thunderhead Avenue in White City. And Jackson County Sheriff's officers have confirmed to us that the fatal crash involved a motorcyclist crashing into a parked vehicle. Right now, it does not appear that anyone else was injured. Be sure to stay with us as we will have more updates on this crash as we learn. Two suspects are still on the run after a botched burglary at a former hemp farm in Medford on Friday. We learned that the early Friday morning hours, 4 people attempted to rob a former hemp farm on the 3600 block of Bellinger Lane. Police say several armed suspects pretended to be law enforcement agents and even attempted to serve a warrant. Deputies have taken the getaway driver, 36-year-old Derek Gargis, and a second suspect, 44-year-old Ryan Drennan, into custody, but 2 additional suspects are still on the run. Anyone with information on the missing 2 suspects are urged to call the Jackson County Sheriff's Office as soon as possible. A Clark County Sheriff's deputy unintentionally shot and killed an off-duty Vancouver police officer after the officer tried to stop the man. Investigators say it started when a man robbed a store at gunpoint. Eventually, he ditched his car and went door to door trying to find a place to hide. He ended up outside Officer Sahoda's house. Sahoda tried to stop the man, and deputies arrived, and one fired several shots, hitting the off-duty officer and not the robbery suspect. Sahoda died, and the robbery suspect was taken into custody. Sahoda served on Vancouver PD since April of 2014, and before that, he worked for Gresham and Port of Portland Police. Continuing our coverage tonight, less than a month into the new year, Portland's rising gun violence has not slowed. More and more neighbors are angry and more families are grieving. Now police are putting more officers on the streets to try to solve this issue. As of Saturday afternoon, Portland police say they have responded to 92 shootings just this year. More than 24 people have been hurt and 7 have died.
The numbers are staggering. They are disappointing. But, they're also not entirely unexpected because we knew that this was kind of where we were going over the course of most of last year.
The department is now putting more members of its new focused intervention team and this enhanced community safety team on the streets. But police say the increased number of officers on the streets is not something that can be maintained. This coming week, Portland's police will present a report to the city council about the relationship with the FBI Joint Terrorist Task Force. The annual report is a requirement from a 2019 city council resolution. Last week, several organizations, including the ACLU, hosted a forum to share concerns about PPB's involvement with the Joint Task Force.
Portland police officers working as JTT officers may be engaged in actions that are in direct conflict with this law. The most direct way to prevent civil rights abuses and potential state law violations is for the city to prohibit Portland Police Bureau officers from participating with the JTTF. However, to the extent that the Bureau continues to have engagement with the JTTF, it is critical for the city to create meaningful oversight and transparency.
Here's a quick rundown of the information that will be submitted this week. The FBI special agent in charge did not request PPB officers for criminal investigations in 2021. They did refer one case to Portland police involving a 14-year-old making bomb threats to a school. That ended up not being credible, though. Portland police referred 7 cases to the FBI as well. Today, President Biden and Vice President Harris met with governors and discussed a number of topics, including gun violence. Here's what the president had to say following today's meeting.
Well, there's a lot of challenges out there that we're not even talking to directly today. There's so many, but the surge of gun violence since the start of this pandemic. I made it clear we should use these funds to combat violent crime as well, including hiring additional police officers and investing in community violence interventions and improving the work in communities. And I know you're making those investments in Michigan. I know you're making those investments in New Jersey. You're making those investments in Ohio. A lot of you are making them all over the country.
Joe Biden has urged the spouses of the nation's governors to keep working together, and with her on the issue, she says transcend politics. She said that includes her efforts to keep and help military families. The First Lady expressed hope the connections she and the spouses made during the National Governors Association annual winter meeting in Washington will continue beyond the weekend. Joe Biden and second gentleman Doug Emhoff, who is married to the vice president, hosted the spouses for musical and ballet performances at the Kennedy Center today. She urged them to call her up when they're doing events back home. Today, Planned Parenthood announced its endorsement of former House Speaker Tina Kotek for governor. In a statement, Planned Parenthood says abortion access is being dismantled nationwide. In this dire landscape, Oregonians have the opportunity to elect Kotek, a fierce reproductive healthcare champion, as their next governor. You can read more of their statement on support on our website, kdrv.com. Tomorrow, Oregon lawmakers return to the state capitol for the 2022 legislative session. Their list of priorities range from affordable housing, bolstering the state's workforce, and a $500 million cushion for the next biennium to tax cuts and limiting the emergency power of the governor. But how much money legislators are envisioning spending, that's yet to be determined as lawmakers await an updated revenue and economic forecast for Oregon that will be presented on February 9th. California is working to dismantle the nation's largest death row. How this is being done and a closer look at the plans for those inmates. That's coming up next. But first, here's a live look out at Phoenix, brought to you by the Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, part of our Newswatch 12 WeatherCam network. Watching out for you, this is Newswatch 12 at 4.
Jeopardy! It should be every player's favorite category.
Stupid answers.
5 easy clues, right? Maybe not.
No. Nope.
See if you can get them. Next Jeopardy!
Jeopardy! Weekdays at 7 on Newswatch 12.
Find a unique piece of jewelry or create your own at Southern Oregon Jewelry, the fine jewelry specialists. With an extensive selection of new and pre-owned jewelry, an amazing variety of loose diamonds, gemstones, collectible watches, and art. Tags are never hidden. Southern Oregon Jewelry knows their prices beat retail. Can't find it? They'll order it. Get it quick at better than retail pricing. Shop online at sojewelry.com or visit Southern Oregon Jewelry inside Southern Oregon Pond at 400 North Riverside. Southern Oregon Jewelry, fine jewelry specialists.
We've all heard it. The GMC Sierra isn't a Chevy, and it ain't a Ford. Okay, if you ask most people, that's a good thing. And the Sierra is amazingly appointed for a more sophisticated driver. And your Southern Oregon GMC dealer has plenty of new Sierras in stock and more on the way. Seeing your new truck before you buy it? Now there's a concept. So go like a pro at your Southern Oregon GMC dealers.
One of the worst things about a cold sore is how it can make you feel. But when used at the first sign, Abreva can get you back to being you in just 2.5 days. Be kinder to yourself and tougher on your cold sores.
Before Nexium 24-Hour, Anna could only imagine a comfortable night's sleep without frequent heartburn waking her up. Now, that dream is her reality. Nexium 24-Hour stops acid before it starts for all-day, all-night protection. Can you imagine 24 hours without heartburn?
To buy your company, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Promised Land is addictive with simmering sexiness.
People don't change, only their lies do.
Promised Land, new tonight, 10/9 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Watching out for you. This is Newswatch 12 at 4.
We're following up tonight on 2 of the men convicted of killing 25-year-old jogger Ahmaud Arbery in Georgia. They have reached a plea deal on hate crime charges. Federal prosecutors negotiated the agreement with Travis McMichael and his father, Gregory McMichael. They're serving life in prison without the possibility of parole for Arbery's murder. William Roddy Bryan, who is serving life in prison with the possibility of parole for shooting the video of the murder, was not mentioned in this deal. An attorney for Arbery's mother says the family is devastated by the agreement. The lawyer called it a backroom deal and vowed to oppose it when it goes to court for consideration today. Right now, California Governor Gavin Newsom is moving to dismantle the nation's largest death row by moving all condemned inmates to other prisons. They intend to turn what is now death row into a positive healing environment. The plan comes nearly 3 years after Newsom imposed a moratorium on executions so long as he is governor. Corrections officials began a voluntary 2-year pilot program in January 2020 to move condemned inmates to one of 7 prisons. They tell the Associated Press they intend to submit permanent proposed regulations within weeks that would make the transfers become mandatory. And today marks the end of Human Trafficking Awareness Month, but local advocates say this does mean spreading awareness. This does not mean spreading awareness should stop. According to the National Human Trafficking Hotline, as of 2020, there were 139 human trafficking cases reported in the state. But according to experts, the number is actually much higher. Human trafficking experts say in many cases, trafficking is never reported.
You use those statistics, a lot of times people say, well, that's not very many people. So I think raising awareness and helping people understand the signs and what to look for and who to contact and to actually be vigilant and make that call is more important to me for them to know than knowing that there's statistics out there, because personally I think they are completely irrelevant right now.
Martinez says there are a number of resources to combat trafficking, and one of the easiest ways to learn about how to identify trafficking and get help is by going to humantraffickinghotline.org. Still to come tonight, there are more available jobs than people who need them. Coming up, we'll hear from state economists as they weigh in on the Great Resignation and why some employers are struggling to hire workers.
A bit chilly to start off the new month tomorrow, and we'll be seeing temperatures for highs running below average, but a warm-up is on the way later this week. We'll take a closer look at that warm-up coming up, but first, let's take a live look at Ashland from the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. Watching out for you, this is Newswatch 12 at 4.
Closed captioning is provided as a public service on Newswatch 12.
The savings start Tuesday at Bi-Mart. Watch for our latest 16-page savings book arriving in your mailbox this week. Inside, you'll find store-wide savings, including pantry essentials, electronics, small appliances, and more. Great customer service, an easy and convenient shopping experience, and unmatched savings with our latest savings book starting this Tuesday. It's basic and Bi-Mart. It's who we are.
You know, I'm thinking about all these awkward things in life, like watching a movie and a love scene comes on and your parents are right next to you. You're in church and you forget to put your phone on silent and your Snoop Dogg ringtone goes off. When you go mattress shopping, it's just awkward to lay down with a room full of strangers. It's weird, we get it. Come down to Garrison Sleep. We have amazing sleep specialists, and we have a body mapping machine from the Mayo Clinic that helps us quickly identify the right mattresses that are gonna fit your body type. We're gonna turn the awkwardness dial way down and the comfort dial way up. Pretty darn quick.
Pick up the phone and call Mr. Mini Blind and more.
Get more. Get the experience. Family operated since 1992. Get selection. Top name brands like Hunter Douglas, Alta Home, and Mecco Shade. Get savings. Mr. Mini Blind and More has rebates just like the big stores. Get savings after the sale. Window treatments save money, keeping the elements out and the comfort in.
Pick up the phone and call Mr. Mini Blind and more.
At US Cellular, we're local, so we're on the ground every day, working to make sure our 5G network isn't impacted by the local weather.
Now you can get the most out of our 5G network with unlimited data for just $30 a month. Plus, choose any phone from any brand for free. That's right, free, including all 5G phones.
Because we believe you should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. All year round, US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
The Newswatch 12 WeatherCam Network, presented by Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford.
Turning now to Stormwatch 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman. You were telling me there was a little snow last night up at Crater Lake. Could we see some more of that?
Well, that was about it. Unfortunately, it's going to be fairly dry through the rest of this week as we head into February. Take a look at the time lapse. You can see the snow melting on the road there as we went throughout the day and some breaks of sunshine. But we will see at least some colder temperatures, so the snow will continue to stick around. Temperatures tomorrow will be in the 20s and will warm a little bit on Wednesday up to 31 degrees, but winds will be pretty breezy, so that wind chill will be a bit brutal out there. The snow depth at 51 inches, but temperatures do get milder later this week, so we're going to slowly keep melting that snowpack, unfortunately, later this week and through the weekend. Take a look at the Rogue Valley over the next 3 days. Highs in the 40s again tomorrow and Wednesday, but we'll get back into the 50s by Thursday. Skies generally mostly sunny to partly cloudy overall through the middle of the week. So this chillier air that's moving in to start the week, it's going to stick around the next couple of days, but some milder Pacific air is going to start to roll in here as we head later this week into this weekend. Temperatures running above average with highs generally topping out in the 50s and even lower 60s by the weekend in our west side valleys. Take a look at that temperature trend getting much milder by later in the week and through the weekend. All this while likely staying dry. We're going to keep an eye on a couple of weak storm systems, but for the most part, we're keeping things pretty quiet for Southern Oregon and Northern California. We will keep you posted though should things change. We definitely need more rain and snow after such a dry January. We're going to take a look at the climate normals for February and talk about just how warm it was for our region through the month of January, coming up on News Watch 12 at 5.
On a Money Alert tonight, state economists say there are more job openings than people to fill them right now. At the end of 2021, there were 100,000 job openings in the state. Economists say employers are struggling to hire and the demand for jobs is increasing wages. The average wage in Oregon is up 17% since the start of the pandemic. That's about $7,000 to $8,000 more a year for the average Oregon worker. With the current unemployment rate at 4.1%, things look great for people looking for a position, but more difficult for the businesses trying to find workers. Each industry has different challenges in finding and retaining some of those workers.
In some of them, it's just a lack of applicants. Employers are saying that they have too few or no applicants for their jobs. And then in other industries, and we talk about healthcare, this is a good example, they're more likely to require some sort of education beyond high school.
For the rest of 2022, economists predict a steady statewide wage increase, though a bit slower than what we saw during the pandemic. Economists think the number of people looking for a job will continue to increase as people look for better opportunities. Oregon's Chief Justice is now asking lawyers to act as public defenders amid a statewide staffing crisis. A report released last week by the American Bar Association found Oregon has just 30% of the public defenders it needs for adequate representation with its current caseload. In a letter on Thursday, Chief Justice Marta Walters reportedly asked members of the state of the bar to, quote, help in representing those who are accused of a crime and can't afford counsel, calling it a very basic and fundamental right that Oregon is struggling to accommodate. As of Friday, over 40 people in Oregon did not have a public defender. Of those, 26 were in custody, according to the Office of Public Defense Services. Still to come tonight, great white sharks have been spotted off the Oregon coast, the latest sighting, and just how big these sharks are. Now we're taking a live, gorgeous look out at Mount Shasta, brought to you by the Mount Shasta Resort, part of our News Watch 12 WeatherCam network. Watching out for you, this is News Watch 12 at 4.
News Watch 12 at 4, presented by Ashley Home Store.
Ashley Home Store believes that great mornings start with the perfect mattress. That's why we carry the nation's top brands like Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, Serta, and our exclusive Ashley Sleep. And with incredible financing and delivery options, your nights of tossing and turning are over. So whether you're a soft pillow top sleeper or the contouring hybrid foam type, we have the perfect mattress for you. Come discover why Ashley Home Store is America's #1 furniture and mattress store. Ashley Home Store. Visit us at both our Medford and Roseburg locations. This is home.
This week, we're celebrating the local flavor of some of America's finest cities.
New York, Dallas, San Diego,
Baltimore,
Cincinnati.
Next, we'll take a bite out of the Big Apple.
Good New York match going here.
Wheel of Fortune, weeknights at 7:30 on News Watch 12.
Hi,
Hi y'all! Goal to be rogue for Gold Beach Nature's Wild Side. Visit the Gold Beach Visitor Center during normal business hours. To get a picture with me, Goldie. Outfits change daily. Find out more at visitgoldbeach.com. Gold Beach Nature's Wild Side.
Ring in the new year with beautiful new flooring from Lippert's Carpet One during our semi-annual clearance sale. It's time to save on Southern Oregon's largest inventory of hardwood, waterproof flooring, carpet, and laminate. Waterproof vinyl plank just 97 cents a square foot. Textured carpet starting at 79 cents a square foot. Plus 18 months no interest financing. Ring in the new year with new flooring from Lippert's Carpet One during our semi-annual clearance sale. Lippert's Carpet One, North Pacific Highway in Medford, Rogue River Highway in Grants Pass.
Mow, dig, haul, trench. The versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor does it all. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, featuring #1 rated reliability. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo.
Serving Southern Oregon and Northern California for over 50 years. Stop in at Central Equipment.
Hi y'all! Goal to be rogue for Gold Beach Nature's Wild Side. Visit the Gold Beach Visitor Center during normal business hours. To get a picture with me, Goldie. Outfits change daily. Find out more at visitgoldbeach.com. Gold Beach Nature's Wild Side.
This week, as Omicron cases surge in kids, can more be done to protect them? Plus, keeping an eye on the new subvariant as cases surface across the country. More Americans turn to World News Tonight with David Muir, the most watched newscast on all of television.
What's trending tonight? This video captured a great white shark off of the coast of Coos Bay. There's been at least 2 sightings since last Thursday. On Friday, the Coast Guard reported a sighting about 100 meters off the shore of Horsefall Beach. And in this video, you can see a 12-foot great white biting a fishing boat. Pretty scary moment. The Beijing Olympics are set to begin this Friday, just as the city reports some of its highest COVID cases in more than a year. New outbreaks are being reported among athletes, which could threaten some events, and even some areas of the city are being placed on lockdown. The Olympic bubble that's been created right now is very strict. And part of the reason China is doing this is that they have a zero COVID policy, and one case is too many cases. There are 71 active cases in the capital of Beijing, and officials have caught more than 240 cases on arrival of athletic staff and athletes and media. They're doing all they can to keep these cases contained. Coming up tonight on News Watch 12 at 5, Ashland High School is officially back to in-person learning after a COVID-fueled closure in January, but there are still restrictions in place for extracurriculars. We're going to take a look at those coming up. And a local business has been destroyed not once, but twice by wildfires. They're still persevering and winning awards at the same time. Their story is coming up tonight. Plus, according to police, a man's bank robbing spree has come to an end. A look at the suspect caught in Vegas and which banks he robbed in our area and even others and more is coming up tonight. Now we're taking a live look out at Mount Shasta. This view is brought to you by the Mount Shasta Resort, part of our News Watch 12 Weathercam Network. Watching out for you, this is News Watch 12 at 4.
You pour your heart into everything you do, which is a lot. So take care of that heart with Lipton. Because sipping on unsweetened Lipton can help support a healthy heart. Lipton, stop chugging, start sipping.
Join Planet Fitness today for zero enrollment. Zero, like a bagel. And it's only $10 a month, cancel anytime.